Hi, this is Eddie Muller. Welcome back to TCM's Friday Night Neo-Noir series. Joining me, my colleague, the great Ben Mankiewicz.
Thanks for having me on your set.
Okay, so Warning Shot that we are about to show is something of a rarity, and I'm really happy that we were able to get it because it's sort of a missing link between old-style Hollywood movies and new Hollywood.
Yeah, I had never seen a Warning Shot until you assigned it to me for this series, so I'm grateful. It felt to me a little like a television show.
Yes,
no question, influenced by TV. By 1967, TV had a rhythm. You know, there was a fair amount in television of like, you know, well, we got to go from here to the down to the station, so we're going to show guys walking out of the house, getting in the car, closing the door, starting the car, driving in, then a shot down the highway, then pulling into the station. Like, we get it. You could just, somebody at some point thought, why don't we just show them at the station? The audience will figure they drove there. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The drive-ups.
Yeah, a lot of drive-ups. And, of course, it feels like television because David Janssen, the star, was coming off a 4-season run of one of the most popular shows ever, The Fugitive, which I think was 63 to 66, or maybe even to
the most noir television series of all time.
And Janssen was so good. And as you'll see in this movie, you know, in The Fugitive, basically in every episode, he would walk out on the highway alone at some point.
Oh yeah, and turn up the coat.
Turn up the collar to shield himself from the wind and the cold, and he does it. He does it here. He can't help it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of The Fugitive here in Warning Shot.
Okay, so the connection to old noir in this film is Warning Shot is based on a book called 7-Eleven Officer Needs Help by Whit Masterson, who was actually two guys, Bob Wade and William Muller.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Who wrote under the name Wade Miller and Whit Masterson. And these are the guys who also wrote the novel that Touch of Evil, the movie Touch of Evil is based on, and many others as well. But so I'm always intrigued by connections of like writers who spanned the original noir era, and then their stuff was still being adapted to movies in the 60s.
But, you know, it's weird because there are parts of it that if there's that connection to the noir era with source material, there's so much of the movie here, which is the story of Janssen accused of killing a suspect when he didn't have to, of excessive force, right? I mean, it feels incredibly relevant today, but that was certainly also of that time, also 1967, as there are protests around the country and again, you know, important social movements with civil rights movement, women's rights, anti-war protests heating up. So the movie feels it feels contemporary now. It certainly felt fresh in 1967. Interesting that it comes from this, that it's really, again, drawn from the 40s.
Yeah, and it's weird because revisiting a lot of the movies we're showing in this series, some of them don't age as well, and then some of them you're surprised, like Warning Shot, like, wow, this is completely contemporary.
Totally, yeah.
The movie's also really interesting because obviously the director, Buzz Kulick, who would go on to do lots of famous television stuff like Brian's Song. Buzz Kulick is the guy who directed Brian's Song. He knew his stuff, and when you say it feels like TV, obviously a lot of these actors got a one-day gig.
Yeah. That's right.
And it's just like TV because it's like, here's Lillian Gish's scene. Here's the scene with George Sanders. Walter Pidgeon is in this movie.
There are romance or close romantic connections with Joan Collins, who plays his soon-to-be ex-wife, Janssen's soon-to-be ex-wife, Stephanie Powers, very young Stephanie Powers here, and then, you know, one of the most underrated actors from classic Hollywood, Eleanor Parker.
Yeah, I remember watching this and saying, oh my God, this woman is amazing. And then it's like, oh my God, that's Eleanor Parker.
I know why she's amazing. She's amazing.
I'm sure she relished playing this part. I mean, it's juicy. Okay, so let's stop teasing these people and let them watch the movie. So I'm so happy we were able to get this, a rarity.
Oh yeah, in honor of David Janssen.
David Janssen.
Yeah, turn up the color.
Starring with everybody in Hollywood in Warning Shot.